The ex-Chief Justice of India, Justice Ranjan Gogoi, controversially decided to sit in on a bench to hear allegations of sexual harassment against himself. Speaking to NDTV, he said, in retrospect, perhaps my participation on the bench hearing sexual harassment charges against me was not correct. Listen in.
Let's jump into what has been the most contentious part of your tenure, which you tackle squarely in the book, which was the charges of sexual harassment which was leveled against you by a junior member of the Supreme Court. Now, you actually, when the charges came, you convened a hearing which you presided over. Doesn't that violate every principle of natural justice, that you preside over a hearing where you yourself are the accused?
In my book, you have two things so far as this chapter is concerned.
Yes.
You have the order passed on 20th of April.
Yes.
In the bench of which I was a member.
Yes.
I didn't sign the order. If you have read that order,
yes,
the order is a kind of an advice to the media to be restrained in reporting the incident.
But
one sec.
Sure.
So that is the order. There is no question of any effective order being passed which has the effect of exonerating me, as people later.
Okay, I'll come to the order in a second, but I'm saying just starting off with the first principles, that you convene a hearing.
I was coming to that.
Yeah, where you yourself are the accused.
I was coming to that.
Yeah.
In my book, there is a sentence that in retrospect, perhaps my participation in the bench was not correct. I mentioned it in hindsight.
That it was a mistake.
It's mentioned there. That it was not correct. But then there is also a line in the book.
Yes.
Chief Justices don't descend from heaven. 40 years of reputation,
yes,
built up over hard work,
sure,
is sought to be destroyed. You are required to take a call. You take a call, some part of it goes wrong.
And the Supreme Court bench that heard the charges of sexual harassment against Justice Gogoi when he was the Chief Justice of India asked the media to be careful in reporting wild and scandalous allegations. But Justice Gogoi, who was himself a part of that bench, says it was an ineffective order.
When you say effective order, even if you see what the nature of that hearing and the order was, where you say that the media should consider whether wild and scandalous allegations that undermine the judiciary should be reported on, doesn't that already in a way prejudice the perception of what those allegations were, that they were wild and scandalous?
Why? It is a kind of an advisory order that when you are reporting wild and scandalous allegations, before you report, exercise due care and caution.
But I'm saying
that is how I read the order.
No, but I'm saying, how does anyone know whether they're wild or scandalous or not? They may be genuine. But this already seems to infer that they're wild and scandalous, thereby thereby prejudicing the possibility of a fair outcome.
No, that is another way of looking at it. What the bench was trying to say, that allegations that are wild and scandalous should be reported with due care and caution. That's all. Look at it. Reading the order, do you come to the conclusion that the allegations leveled against the CJI are wild and scandalous?
That seems to be.
Is that the purport of the order?
I'm saying that seems to be the inference.
One minute.
Yes.
The bench could have passed an order. The media is restrained from reporting. The bench didn't pass that order. Why? The bench could have said there are allegations leveled against the CJI of sexual harassment. Media will not publish it. Then where would you be?
No. But Justice Gogoi, but that can't be a defense. The ideal situation, the ideal scenario, hold on.
No, one sec. I disagree with you.
Okay.
There is no defense.
Right.
There is no defense.
Okay.
I don't have to defend anything.
Okay.
Right. Whatever I had to say, I have said it. Right. You are capable of interpreting A into X, and I am capable of interpreting X